Unfortunately, at the last press conference, Hanyu voiced what many of us were most afraid to hear. It is hard to let go of your favorite athlete whose skating has made you happier for many years. There is a feeling of devastation and sadness inside, although if you discard all selfishness, you understand that it will be better for Yuzuru. As the skater himself said, ending an amateur career and becoming a professional is not a point, but a comma. His story is not over yet. Yuzuru Hanyu is a phenomenon of modern figure skating, a living legend of our sport, whose contribution to the development of figure skating cannot be measured by titles or medals. Yuzuru Hanyu is a unique phenomenon. Such people are born once in 100 years, and maybe even less often. No matter how sad it is to realize that we won't see him again at the competitions, I don't want the farewell of the skater to resemble a funeral and drive me into depression. More positive thinking, friends. The most important thing is that Hanyu does not say goodbye to figure skating for good. He will continue to work on himself, to improve in various aspects. He no longer wants to limit his figure skating to competitive boundaries, because in his understanding, figure skating is something more. We are used to thinking that the end of a career is a kind of retirement, the end, to some extent, degradation, since the peak of opportunities is already behind us. But Yuzuru Hanyu is not one of those people who can be adjusted to generally accepted standards. He is exceptional in everything. In the interview, Yuzu specifically chose the term professional athlete rather than professional skater. Thus, he emphasized that he was going to develop his skills as an athlete. His words about the quadruple Axel were not empty. He is still determined to work on mastering this element and still dreams of landing it in front of everyone. It's just that it won't be on competitive ice, but probably at some kind of show. I hope there will be good lighting at this point. Hanyu emphasized that he has not become a professional who no longer needs difficult jumps. And the past Japanese shows are a clear proof of this. There, the skater performed elements of Ultra SI and surprised with an excellent sports uniform for the off-season. All this, in fact, confused the fans. We decided that this was a hint to continue our career, forgetting about what a perfectionist Yuzu was. Yuzuru hasn't revealed all of his plans for the future yet, but he feels like he now has new ways to show off his skating and has new ideas in his head that viewers will love. It seems that Hanyu made the decision to leave big-time sports in the first place because he feels constrained by the rules of the ISU. Someone might say that Yuzuru simply stopped being competitive and, sensing this, decided to quit. But one can hardly agree with such an interpretation. Considering Hanyu's fitness on Fantasy on Ice, it was no exaggeration to say that if he wanted to, he could qualify for gold medals in various tournaments next season, including the World Championships. Yuzu always thought more broadly. For so many years devoted to figure skating, his own idea of how ideal figure skating should be formed in his head. And to achieve perfection, it is not necessary to take part in competitions. Perhaps, on the contrary, for this you need to step aside from the usual rules in order to feel complete freedom. In an interview, Yuzuru also drew attention to the fact that he received the highest marks for the components in 2015, and although his skating skills have improved since then, this was not reflected in the second mark. On the contrary, its components gradually decreased. In fact, this is a separate problem of refereeing, which I do not want to raise here now. But it is unlikely that resentment speaks in Hanyu. Rather, it is an understanding and realization that figure skating is not limited to the judges' evaluations at competitions. Performing on a show where the audience expressed more appreciation makes him happier than winning competitions. I would also like to express special gratitude to Khan for the courage shown to announce his decision like this, in front of the whole world. It is always difficult to make such statements. Many skaters try to delay this moment as long as possible, leaving themselves a chance to return, even if they realize that this is unlikely to happen. If you watched Yuzuru's press conference, you probably noticed that he was also overwhelmed with emotions at that moment. Although he held on, it was clear how difficult it was for him to choose words, how tears welled up in his eyes. Now the fans will not have unnecessary expectations, empty hopes and disputes about Hanyu's participation in the competition. The past press conference completely dotted the i's and gave answers to all possible questions. Thanks to Yuzu for showing us what figure skating can be. Thank you for taking men's single skating to a new level, for continuing to be an example for other athletes and people who are far from sports. We are happy if you are happy. With all my heart I would like to wish this unique skater to achieve new heights and success at a further stage of development. Ahead of us are many more grandiose events related to Yuzuru Hanyu. This is just the beginning. Health, inspiration, let everything conceived be sure to succeed.
Russian figure skater AnnaScherbakova told what inspires her.
You can draw inspiration from absolutely different moments. In my first adult season, I had a program for the soundtrack to the film Perfume. Of course, I read the book and watched the movie, and it helped me a lot to plunge into this story, to convey it all on ice.
This is one of my favorite programs, I love to skate it very much.
And that's how many hundreds of thousands of times I rolled it in training and competitions each time I tried to bring something there.
Now I have a free program Master and Margarita.
I also read a book. Most recently I went to a ballet at the Bolshoi Theater.
You can take inspiration from absolutely different places, and this helps you to convey the image on the ice. What did you like more, the book or the movie? I am talking about Perfume. First I saw the movie, it impressed me a lot.
With a book, it's a longer process. I watched the film, this is such a one-time impression that I have stuck. And I read the book for a long time and, it seems to me, took a lot of small details from there.
And it helped to come to training every day and add something new to the program. They impressed me in different ways. Sherbakova said. AnnaScherbakova also spoke about her collaboration with choreographer Ilya Overbook.
Earlier, Overbook gave the figure skater a demonstrative number to the song of Bulet Okadzava.
What is the peculiarity of Ilya Overbook as a choreographer? I take it this is the first time IVE worked with him?
Yes, it was the first time I worked with him.
I don't have much experience with different choreographers to compare much.
Just here, probably, is the difference for the first time I took part in the performance in this way. But this is also due to the fact that, perhaps, he cannot know everything that I do best, that I can, since he does not see me in training. For example, Daniil Markovich, Glycangaz, and Eteri Georgievna, Tutberids, who usually put on programs for us, already know everything I can do. And here, probably, I showed Overbook more that it's possible this way, you can this way, and how I see some movements. Probably, it was more of a joint work, which I really liked too.
That is, the time, 2 or 3 days, was enough?
Yes, we spent 2 training sessions on this.
2 days. The main difference from working with Daniil Markovich is that more offers come from you?
Well, there is another difference in that this is not a competitive program, but still a show.
In the competitive program, the accuracy of all steps is more important, more elements, less time just to skate, to reveal the image.
You need to do all this with various complex connections, entries, take into account all the complex rules, transitions, and so on. Therefore, there is less opportunity to come up with something, somehow open up. Here, when the show is performed, it is very important that both the director and I see this idea, so that I convey the image correctly.
Did you have an idea to put something on your own?
I don't think I am that ready to put something on my own yet.
Just when there were some ideas, I said.
Ilya listened to me very much. I contributed a little of my own, but at the same time, of course, I don't think that I set something for myself directly. These are the little moments that I think it was better to reveal like this. But myself, it seems to me, I am not yet ready to give myself a number. Maybe sometime in the future, when I gain more experience, Sherbakova said.